I wasn't sure what I was looking for. I was a head case at that time. I was a mental wreck and I was struggling to know where to go. And it wasn't until after talking with Kevin did I realize the direction I needed to go in, and that was his direction. He was going to lead me down a path that I needed to go.
It's in a really highly emotional kind of moment that you're in when you experience an incident like we did. I don't think we're necessarily thinking clearly. It's all very overwhelming.
I think the most important thing was that he showed a lot of confidence on his work.
Super confident in what they were doing for us.
I had mentioned to a friend, a fellow parent in where we're at, and I mentioned their names, and he was like, "Oh wow, you got those guys," and that locked it in too.
You want someone that's going to handle business in the courtroom, and that's exactly what they did. I knew I would never want to go up against them, watching them in court. They know the law. We all think that we know the law. They knew the law. They knew the right questions to ask.
Knowing Josh and Kevin in the capacity that I did, and as friendly as they were bulldogs in the courtroom, and in a good way. They were never disrespectful or belligerent. They were just on point. That assured me even more that what we were doing, we were in good hands.
But then outside the courtroom, they were a shoulder to lean on.
They really listened and were in tune with not only our concerns, but also behind the concerns, some of the emotional kind of reactions that we were having to the situation, the anxiety, the trauma, and they set those at ease as well and just kind of acknowledged that was present. It wasn't just about getting from A to B, but it was like, how are you guys doing? How are you feeling? And how can I make this experience a little bit better for you?
He was not the kind of person that, he'll promise you the whole world, like everything's gonna be slam dunk, anything like that. But, he gave us the real perspective of the case.
We were in good hands, and I never had any question about when things were moving along and progressing. Like, I knew I was getting updates in emails, phone calls, and they let me know when there were going to be delays.
It didn't feel like the length of time had dwindled their enthusiasm for the case or their passion for our cause. I definitely felt like that care was still present from the beginning to the very end.
One of the most professional lawyers I have ever seen, due to my experience with some jury duties, and I've seen how lawyers react, and he's the best I ever seen so far.
Law and Order is nothing in comparison. It has nothing on them.